Hello and welcome back to the channel. We are in a different angle in my room for once. Gaming setup. Uh, so I have a rather controversial opinion going on about the Uncharted movie because I finally had a chance to watch it because it was on Netflix last Friday, and overall I really liked it. It was by no means a great movie. I would not even I would call it a good movie. I think a sequel can definitely do a lot better with the story and whatnot. But I'll talk more about what I didn't like because it actually does a lot of what the future of the franchise and the movie format should be. But I'd like first off, just like some things that I liked. I really liked the acting. Like some of the choices, when I first heard about them, I was not that keen on them. Like when they said, "Oh, Tom Holland is going to be Nathan Drake," I'm like, okay, kind of makes sense. But I really liked his portrayal. I think it was really good for the type of character they were going for. And same goes for Mark Wahlberg. I did not think I would like Mark Wahlberg in in the Uncharted movie as Sully of all people. Like, cause the first I heard of it, I thought it was simply just like a sympathy casting since he was originally supposed to be Nathan Drake when the movie first started production in 2008. But I don't think he did that bad. I mean, he could have done it a little bit better, but I did not hate his performance. I think it was passable at the very least. The story was definitely the weakest portion. I think it was a fun movie to just turn my brain off to and just, watch. Um, I mean, I feel like it's going to be one of those instances, like with the Uncharted games, where, because, I have played through the entire series except Lost Legacy. I've never played Lost Legacy, but I do plan to in the near future. But the first Uncharted game, its story is it's pretty bad, all things considered, especially compared to Uncharted 4, which is really high up there for me, story wise. Um, but I enjoyed a lot of the set pieces. I thought the final confrontation with the boats was very well done, and so with that, that's all the good things I can say about it. The only bad things are from everything outside of the movie. So, for those of you who don't know, Sony has come out and said that Uncharted is Uncharted the movie is a prequel to the Uncharted video games. I do not think that is a good call, and just let me explain. So, it when you try to make a prequel to an existing franchise, like a video game, for instance, you have to make it cohesive. But with Uncharted, you can see sort of contradictions. Like for instance, Nathan Drake's origin has already been shown in Uncharted 3 in the opening sequences. There was how Sully and Nate met in, I believe it was somewhere in Italy. It's been a while since I played the third one. Um, but in the movie, it shows that Sully literally came to Nathan Drake because he's a bartender, and like I said, I like the story. It's sort of like a mashup of Uncharted 1 and Uncharted 4 because there's the introduction of Sam in there. Um, but yeah, I think they're really writing themselves into a corner if they keep trying to make Uncharted a connected universe. I think there should be the game universe, and they can keep that stuff just the same as it always has. But I think they should have this be its own separate universe instead. So here is sort of my little pitch to Sony, if you will. Completely disregard your previous statement. Basically, I would make Uncharted 2 a very loose adaptation of Uncharted 1, like Uncharted the video game number 1. I would, because we've already seen the build up to the first story of Uncharted 1 in the end credits, uh, whenever Sully and Nathan are getting the information from whatever random, I think they're just random goons, but Roman was brought up, who, if you don't know, was the antagonist of Uncharted 1. because and he also mentioned the Nazi U-boats at the end there, or not Nazi U-boats, like Nazi maps, or yeah, it was Nazi maps. Um, but for Uncharted 2, it should just be a very loose adaptation. Have Roman be the antagonist. Have like the one thing I think they should have added to the Uncharted movie was I think they should have brought in Elena Fisher somehow. And but even then, who knows? Maybe she would be better for the sequel. Uh, because I think they really should just straight up do an adaptation of Drake's Fortune and have that literally be the subtitle Uncharted 2 Drake's Fortune. Um, but yeah, with all that out of the way, like I said before, Uncharted, great movie, or not great, a good movie. I'd recommend watching it at least once just to get the experience. It was a fun movie, especially feel that like Indiana Jones part of me. I love Indiana Jones. I actually really love Uncharted. Like as you can tell, like I mean, I actually the whole reason I watched the movie. Funny story was I went to Comic Con last spring and Nolan North was there, and I decided to cosplay as Nathan Drake in his Uncharted 4 outfit. And when I was like out there talking with him, took some photos with him, you know, the usual. And he was basically like, "Oh, have you seen the movie? I'm in that." And I'm like, "I've never like in my head, I was like, I didn't know you were in the movie. I've never seen the movie." Uh, so like immediately after Comic Con, I went to watch like his little scene, and then it was like before it came out on DVD, so I had a very hard time finding a way to watch it. But then this past summer, they were like, "Oh hey, it's gonna be on Netflix," and so I finally got around to watching it 2 nights ago. But yeah, with all that out of the way, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.